Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. So, what is Carter's plan? I sat here watching this episode for about 19 minutes, and he brings over Paris and he talks about it's going to be a night to remember, and he goes all out and he's having the whole place decorated and, getting her favorite foods and, getting her flowers. And, he keeps it there thinking back to Paris's overbearing mother basically going to tattletale on him if he doesn't break it off with Paris. He's not there making out with her, and then he says, "I'm like, okay, so what'd you bring her over here for? You got what is your plan?" And he's like, "We need to sit there and discuss where we're gonna sit there and go from here." And I'm like, what? Bro, what the hell are you talking about? I'm confused. And I know that there's a larger plan, there's more episodes, so maybe we're going to get to what his plan is, but I don't understand. This woman is literally sitting there threatening your livelihood if you don't break things off with her daughter. So your plan is to bring her daughter over to your house so you can romance her, be extremely vague for most of this episode, wine her and dine her, and then say, we need to sit there and talk about our future. And Paris is really difficult watching some of her scenes. Um, she talks about how she feels guilty, because, she cares about Zende, but she keeps trying to rationalize it and justify what she's doing because, Zende was with some pretty model. He went on a date with somebody else. And, with that being said, they agreed to keep things casual. This is how she rationalizes her guilt. And issue with that, my issue with that is that she's going behind his back with somebody that is his friend. And she hasn't told him. First of all, she hasn't even sit there and said that she's seeing somebody else. Okay. And she talks about this whole honesty and let's just be very clear, we're seeing other people, but when Zende asked you who you saw, you act like you're deaf. You talk about how you feel guilty, but you're feeling guilty for the wrong things. You should feel guilty for not telling him, one, that you are seeing somebody else, and two, who you're seeing. Because those things are important. But, this is pretty much where I, I was gonna sit there and say this is where Carter's master plan is, which I guess we may get more of tomorrow if we're lucky. Um, I just I don't I just I don't know about this show sometimes. So Steffi calls Charlie, the guy who does security whatever at the office, and hey, I need to come over. We got a project for you. It's kind of on a need to know basis. You can't really tell anyone. Get over here as quick as you can. I'm like, your bosses just call you at like hours that aren't work hours and just tell you just to head on over. Like that's normal. Okay, sure. And Thomas does sit there and raise a question. Will Charlie do it? Will Charlie? Because think about it. This guy is coming over there, and you're basically sitting there saying, I need you to break in to your other boss's security system so we can sit there and find out what's going on. What? You want me to break into my other boss's security system so we can sit there and see what's going on? Because that's totally not shady and not illegal at all, right? That's on the up and up. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, we're off to a great start. But to some of their credit, they do, Steffi does sit there and tell Charlie when he gets over there why he's doing what he's doing. He tell him about the fact that, Brooke is sitting there maybe stepping out on him with somebody else, with Deacon, and even Charlie knows a bit of the history about Deacon. So, even though Charlie's like, Brooke has been really nice to me and good to me, you also have been good to me, and, Thomas is also like, my son saw this, but I don't want to sit there and bring him into this. I need proof. So with that being said, Charlie agrees to help. So maybe tomorrow we'll sit there and find out if they're gonna get the proof that they need. Because Steffi's still on this. I don't want to sit there and say tirade because I'm not just saying that she doesn't actually have valid points. She basically is like my dad has been sitting there putting her happiness before him, and she's been sitting there screwing him over for way too long. And she does want her dad to be happy, especially knowing, what Brooke might have done. Um, so she's not entirely wrong about her feelings, um, as far as that is concerned. Grace and Zende. Grace does what Grace has been doing for quite a while now, being overbearing. Um, I don't remember though. I don't remember the reviewer, the soap opera reviewer's new name. I think her name is Chelsea, something with a D. She calls her Mama Bear, and I've been calling her B word. I do tend to use it when I feel like it's appropriate, but I felt like at this point, and don't get me wrong, she's still been pissing me off, but I'm just gonna call her overbearing because that's literally what she's doing, and I'm not even angry anymore about it. So, but yeah, she's pretty much acting overbearing, saying to Zende that, they're gorgeous together and you're a good person and you're a good man and you're perfect and blah, 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 blah. My daughter is very lucky to have you. But Zende is like, yo, listen, I only agreed to this whole seeing other people because I didn't want to pressure her and she felt like, like that's not what she wanted. So I've been keeping it casual because that's what she pretty much asked me for. But Grace is like, well, I know what my daughter wants and I know what my daughter needs. I was like, so your daughter's an invalid now, right? She's just she's too stupid to think for herself, so you just gotta sit there and step in. Like, I mean, how insulting is that? I mean, listen, Paris isn't my favorite character, my favorite person, or any one of those adjectives, but damn, you gotta sit there and have your mother step in for you and try to steer your love life in the right course because apparently she thinks that you're too incompetent to do it yourself. What does that say? And that's literally what she does. She's like, well, I don't want you to give him my daughter and blah, 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 blah. It's just the same tired stuff that she's been saying yesterday. I feel like at this point, if you missed anything what she said, I'm pretty sure I said most of the stuff Um, well, yesterday. So it didn't really change. Except I'm not as angry. But I have a feeling that I'm going to regret that because she's probably going to do something that pissed me off and I'm going to be right back to swearing. So, guess time will tell. Time will tell about my restraint. Brooke was sitting there telling Reg, oh man, I wish you didn't sit there and go and see Deacon. Yeah, we all know why you wish that he didn't go and see Deacon. But, Ridge does his whole bad mouthing Deacon, and then Hope comes in, and Ridge leaves, and, Hope just tries to reassure her, listen, why don't you just enjoy your time with Ridge? There's no way that people are going to find out. Douglas has pretty much stopped talking about it. You're in the clear. Stop worrying so much. Brooke is still sitting there sweating bullets. At this point, it's kind of laughable. I get that in the moment you panicked and you listened to Deacon like an idiot, and in reality, you should have just sat there and told Ridge and let the chips fall where they may. Now you are living in your own personal hell. In a lot of ways, well, you pretty much deserve it. Um, Now again, when she kissed Deacon, she was under the influence. Um, and so that wasn't really all on her to an extent. The kiss wasn't on her. Maybe kind of just letting Deacon in the house and not just making a beeline towards Hope's place might not have been the best course of action. Y'all spent a lot of time. You knew how Rich felt about it. In a lot of ways, in some ways, you were kind of inviting trouble, and this was the result. Um, so, because you didn't sit there and woman up and actually, told the truth, it's gonna come up, and then you're gonna be standing there looking stupid, crying, talking about, "Oh, I didn't mean it to happen, and I didn't want to hurt you, and my daughter, and what other excuses I could sit there and come up with at the time." She better have a playbook of excuses to use because that woman is definitely gonna need it. And Rich goes to see Taylor. Taylor made a joke because she got her hair cut or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, it's looking a little wiggy or whatever." I was like, "Ah, okay, I get it." Anyway, they just talked about Brooke, and Rich was kind of silent. He didn't want to really say anything because Taylor was like, "How is Brooke doing?" The kids are saying that she's missing meetings, she's not going to work, she looks a little upset. Hope came over here saying that she wasn't in a good place, so I want to know what's going on if I could sit there and help. And I'm just like, if he haven't said anything about Brooke, like as far as like what's going on with her, you should probably stop asking. Because it got to a point where it's like she started pushing a little bit. And I get it. She's a helper. She's a healer. Blah, 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 blah. But, if he's not saying anything about what's going on to her, as far as hers, whatever she's going through, you should probably respect that. Because if the roles were reversed and you were going through something and somebody else came in was like, "Oh, well, how is Taylor doing?" You could sit there and tell me, "I just want to sit there and help." Would you appreciate him just putting all your business out in Front Street? So why the hell do you sit there and keep asking him over and over about it? Like, he didn't say anything and you're just like, "Oh," and now you're sitting there giving that look. You mean a look of stop asking business that doesn't concern you? That look? Because, yeah, that would be an appropriate look. Yeah. I think that's about it. So, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. I still don't know why the hell I'm holding my hands, but this is, yeah, I guess this is a thing now.